Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our final episode of The Boom on River City Radio. Of course, our last episode. Now we're going to a brand new network next week, so very excited for that. But I am your host with the most, as always, Cam G, the man to the right of me. That is my co-host at this time, Phil Kahn, and the man at the bottom of your screen. That is the man on the ones and twos, and my co-host at this time, Metalcore Mike. Gentlemen, we are joined here once again for another Wednesday night. Usually, we do our breakdown of AEW Dynamite, but tonight was the go-home show for Forbidden Door. Typically, they don't give us much, so what I usually do is turn these go-home shows into just prediction shows for the pay-per-views for Sunday. Now, since me and Metalcore Mike did not go live, since it was, again, Raw was on at 2 p.m. in the middle of the afternoon on Monday, we did not get to do our Night of Champions predictions for this Saturday as well. So we're doing our Night of Champions and Forbidden Door predictions. This weekend is packed. It almost feels like a freaking WrestleMania almost in the middle of freaking June. So we're going to do those with this particular show. But before I get into that, gentlemen, how is your Wednesday evening going?
It is Wednesday evening, the final episode of The Boom on Rivet City Radio and Off the Top Media. Next week, The Boom will be moving forward. The Boom is not going anywhere, everybody. Just to let y'all know, head over to twitch.tv/theboompwpod and youtube.com/@theboompwpod. Hit that follow button and subscribe button right now because the train doesn't stop. Just because this is the final episode here on the networks does not mean it's the final episode, period. Okay? This train is not stopping. We are going to keep steamrolling, and we are going to keep kicking ass like we always do. But I'm looking forward to talking about pro wrestling tonight because, as I was telling you gentlemen 30 seconds ago before we went on air, the past 24 hours have been very hectic for me personally, and I am so looking forward to just talking about something to take my mind off of things. That and the incident I was telling you guys about, I'm about at 96% healed up, which is great. You know, bruising going away. The finger is actually healing up, which is good. I'm going to have a really cool, war scar, So, I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about wrestling. I am. So let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Phil.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this weekend, and I'm very excited for what the Boom could do moving forward now that we are going to that new network. First of all, look, I have no idea how long I've even been doing this with you guys, but it's been an absolute blast doing this with you guys for however long it has been.
2 years.
And now, really, it's been 2 years.
2 years
already.
Yes, 2 years.
Wow.
It has been 2 years.
That's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But the fact that you guys trusted me to be a part of all of this for the 2 years that we have been doing this, and now that we are kind of embarking on this new chapter with the new network and everything in between, I can't believe that we have been going so strong, and I cannot wait to see for what the future of the Boom can become. Now, this weekend is absolutely stat cam, like you said. It's not only just the two shows that we are covering, but also TNA is also hosting their Slammiversary show on the same day as I believe Forbidden Door. So it's a stacked weekend for three promotions that is having some of their biggest events that they could possibly ever build up to. So I'm very excited for this entire weekend. I have no idea how much energy I will have by the end of it all, but we are going to be breaking at least two of these shows down and doing it the best way that we possibly can.
I want to say something real quick. It's kind of off track from WWE and it's off track from AEW. This does have to go into the realm of TNA. I'm going to say this right now. I have not yet been able to catch an episode of TNA Impact since it started on AMC, on regular cable, right? But one of my favorite pro wrestlers of all time, Tommy Dreamer, was a part of TNA for a very long time. Finding out that he's done with TNA, I've always said to myself, one day I am going to meet Tommy Dreamer. I've met some of the wrestlers that I've always wanted to meet, like a Rob Van Dam. I have. And Tommy Dreamer is on my bucket list of pro wrestlers to meet. I've seen him live. I've seen him perform. Just have not been able to meet him. And I am very interested to see what direction TNA goes now that he's not there. Because I have a big feeling he had an intricate part of what TNA was doing.
And obviously, creative. Okay.
Yeah, and there you go. And obviously an intricate part of the head of their success on getting back to what they were at 3 years ago, because we know 3 years ago, nobody even wanted to utter the letters TNA.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's like, people want to talk about TNA. People want to, discuss the stuff that's happening there.
Good or bad.
There's more, there's more mention of TNA now than there was 3 years ago. And Tommy Dreamer, I would like to imagine, was one of the biggest intricate parts of that. And hearing that he parted ways with TNA, I seen the interview he did on Busted Open. It was very emotional, very sad.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited. I know he mentioned that he was going to be taking a break and he's going to be taking some time. And I know Tommy Dreamer, he's up there, he's in his 50s and everything like that. But for a 50-some-year-old pro wrestler that I've been a fan of for a very long time, is it crazy for me to say I'm super excited to see what he does next once he decides to move forward?
I don't think it is crazy at all, mainly because the fact of the matter is, even though he is at the age that he is at, and even though he is no longer a part of TNA anymore, this man is still grinding on the indie scene. I like, he is doing things on the independent scene almost every single weekend from what I see on social media and everything like that. So that man is grinding. That man still loves the art of the game that is the world of professional wrestling. And I honestly cannot wait to see what is next for Tommy Dreamer. It wasn't only Tommy Dreamer that was let go as well. Sammy Callahan also was let go, which I think was an absolute travesty in and of itself, because if anybody knows the ins and outs of TNA, it is that man. I love that man to the day he dies.
Funny story is 3 years ago when I got back into TNA, before I started watching the pay-per-views and stuff like that, getting back into it, I would go and watch some YouTube videos of wrestlers that were there before I got back into it. And Sammy Callahan was one of the first guys that I watched matches of. And I'm like, man, he was so because I'd never heard of Sammy Callahan before until I heard him on the radio.
Right.
And I'm like, I got to go look up this guy's match. Like, he seems like he's a big deal. And I was like, oh crap, I've been missing a lot with this guy. And I know a lot of people are not a fan of Sammy Callahan. I get that. A lot of people do not like his style or like who he is as a character, anything like that.
People. Yeah.
But me, I was like, man, Sammy Callahan's, he's one of the parts. And of course, oh my gosh.
Scott D'Amore.
It's not Scott D'Amore. My gosh, he's in AEW now. Josh Alexander.
Yes.
Josh Alexander was another one that kind of reeled me in. And the very first pay-per-view I watched getting back into TNA, the World Championship match, which was the first match of the night, it was Josh Alexander defending the TNA World title against Bully Ray.
Okay.
So, and Bully Ray, one of my top favorite wrestlers of all time as well. Dudley Boy's my favorite tag team of all time. So, I'm sorry, Cam. I kind of took over for a second. I just had to kind of get that off my chest. Yeah, a lot going on. And, yeah, man.
That was hard to kill.
It was hard to kill. It was the very first pay-per-view of the year, and it was hard to kill. And main event was Mickey James against Masha Slamovich for the Women's Championship.
Yep. That match was amazing too.
Great match.
But yes, I'm very excited for everything that is happening this weekend. And like I said, I don't know how much energy I'll have by the end of it all, but I will try to do as much as I possibly can for whatever I could possibly endure for this weekend. But this is going to be fun talking about those two shows.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're rocking Night of Champions first.
Yeah, Night of Champions. Yes. Night of Champions is first because that's just the shorter card or whatever. Only six matches, though. We normally only get 5 at WWE, so that's honestly kind of shocking.
Let's keep it like this, please. I'm not
gonna hold my breath and say that they're gonna go with 6 now. Yeah, I think they're only doing 6 as in Saudi, with of course the inclusion with the King Queen of the Ring matches. So they kind of had to push it to 6. Yeah. I'm not holding my breath and say they're going to 6 now. So, but we'll see. If they do, great. I don't see how that's hurting anything. If they want to go 6 matches.
I just think it flows better. You do 3 Raw, 3 SmackDown matches. You can do that or whatever.
It's going to be a 6-hour event. They're going to have like 20-minute commercial breaks in between matches. And stuff.
For sure. I mean, that's always going to be the case. But, and I mean, I don't know how the order is going to go. But this is like the first ever Women's United States Championship match on a pay-per-view. So, yeah,
that's crazy.
Thanks, WWE.
Wow.
That's the first ever Women's United States Championship match on a PLE because they just never put it on there before.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
And that belt's been around for what, 2 years now?
Almost a year and a half, maybe 2. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So the first match, out of the 6 matches for us to make predictions for, I'm going to start off with an interesting one. I think this is one of the matches that really caught my eye, other than probably the triple threat match, and that's Trick Williams taking on Ricky Saints for the United States Championship. I think this is an interesting matchup. Again, it's something new, it's something fresh for that mid card scene. If I may go first, I would say Trick Williams retains. I don't. His reign is still kind of fresh. He hasn't really done a whole lot with it thus far, and I think there's a lot still to be done. But this could be the sleeper on the card. Honestly, if they're given time, if they're given some proper time, I think this could realistically be a banger on this card. I'm gonna go with Phil. Phil, who do you got? Trick Williams or Ricky Saints?
Yeah, I'm going Trick here. Like you said, there's not really much to go on when it comes down to Trick Williams' reign so far. I think he needs a little bit more time with this. And I have to say, I love that they gave the spot to Ricky. Yeah, I do, because even though that the number 1 contenders match, when they had that on the episode of SmackDown that they did, everybody and their mother wanted Carmelo Hayes to get this because Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams is the easy feud to go to and pretty much the obvious one. But I felt like at any stage, like you should want that on a bigger one instead of just a match on Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. Nothing against, the crowd over there, just like the kind of venue or the stage that it's on. But I just feel like with that kind of a bigger rivalry between those two, you would want that on a bigger stage. Yep. So I think with Trick Williams getting the victory here over Ricky, and if Ricky does have a solid performance in this thing, this is not to say that Ricky Saints can never sniff the United States Championship picture ever again. It's just not his time right now. So Trick Williams for the win for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think Trick Williams definitely does win this match, retains. Phil, I've been saying it for probably the better part of a year now that Trick Williams and oh my gosh, you just said his name.
Carmelo.
I'm forgetting. It's Carmelo Hayes, yes, and it was right there at the tip of my tongue too. I was about to say it.
It's all right.
I've been saying that Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes, when they were both in NXT, they were feuding over the NXT World Championship, and I was like, why not put this match on WrestleMania for the NXT title? I get it; they did their event like the morning or afternoon before night number 1, and then the championship would be on the line in the main event. I get that, but now that they don't necessarily do that, because the past year or two they have not done that.
Stand and Deliver's
been on the
like
opposite
the week before.
Yeah, it's been on the opposite end of things. So now that prime opportunity could have been there for these two to be on WrestleMania facing for that NXT championship, but they both got called up. They're both on the main roster. That's where I would ultimately like to see Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams for insert championship here, United States title, Intercontinental title. If they go back to NXT, face for the NXT championship, anything like that. Insert that match, WrestleMania, and look at where's WrestleMania next year? In Saudi. So, they'll have the opportunity to do it. But Trick Williams winning this match, definitely. This is a great opportunity for Ricky Saints. This is great opportunity for Ricky Saints to go out, show out, especially in front of the Saudi crowd, which we know has become an intricate part of WWE, and on a PLE. This is a great opportunity for him. Even in a loss, is going to be a great opportunity for him. So, yeah, it's going to be a good match, and it could be the sleeper of the night. Could be.
If they give him the time, for sure.
Yeah, like I said, if they're given the time, I think that's the only thing I think that could realistically kind of stunt what this match could be. So that's why I emphasize that. The next, we'll go with one of the tournament matches. So I'm going with one of the Queen of the Ring highly controversial for one,
Don't
Liv
even get me
Morgan, who was
started on
current
this.
women's world champion, to be this far in this tournament, which she probably should have lost a while ago. But we got Liv Morgan taking on Io Sky. To me, I think this is a slam dunk. I think it should be Io Sky. It makes no sense for. I mean, unless they're planning to what, unify the titles and have Liv versus Rhea,
And that should
which I
not
doubt.
happen. That should
So
not happen anyway.
it definitely should be Io Sky winning this match, and then of course we get Io and Rhea, and then like I said, I would say Rhea probably finally gets her win over Io Sky. That has been the biggest story going on with those two. Even after Rhea has left Monday Night Raw and is now the current
for the
champion
last
of
couple of
SmackDown.
years.
So, yeah, for the last couple of years. So it's been a big story for those two. So who knows? I think maybe that's the biggest story, the biggest match they could do for SmackDown and for the WWE Women's Championship going into SummerSlam. So I think that's honestly the biggest plan here. Liv Morgan winning is just doesn't make any sense at all. So Mike, I'm gonna go with you.
Yeah, I mean, number one, you guys know how I feel about two championships being at the same level, having two world champions, two women's world championships. You guys know how I feel about that. I don't like it, but it's part of the world of wrestling now. I would not let the believability of Liv Morgan winning this match even go past me because I could see it. I can. Why? Because Liv and Rhea, they have history. We know they have history. They have very strong history, and their feud is not over. It was never over. It's far from done. And when Rhea Ripley left Monday Night Raw, her and Liv Morgan were face to face, and she said, "I'll see you soon." So the last words from Rhea saying, "I'll see you soon," it's kind of that indication of, okay, maybe we get Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam with unifying the titles. The big question I think is right now the women's division in WWE is a strong women's division, but they choose not to do things with it that they should be doing. Like, we all know Io Sky should win this match. We should get Rhea and Io, and Rhea finally beating Io one-on-one for the first time. But I would not let it cross I would not let it get past me to the fact that they get Liv Morgan to win this match, and we get a unification match at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Tough match. I mean, I'll say this right now. Doing predictions, it's a tough one to pick. It is a tough match to pick because it can go either way, and there's meaning behind either matchup at SummerSlam with Rhea Ripley. If Liv wins, Rhea Ripley. If Io wins, she gets to pick a champion she goes after. I mean, for all extensive purposes, I'm going to go Io Sky because I would love to see the Io and Rhea match. I would love to see Rhea get that win over Io. I know a lot of people, don't want to see that. They want to see Io win and beat Rhea. I want to see Rhea finally get that win over Io. But, I would not let it get past me of Liv Morgan winning this match either. But Io.
Phil?
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if Liv got the win here either, but it's got to be Io. If you guys have been seeing my content over the course of the last couple of weeks or however long this tournament has been going on, I have absolutely hated the fact that Liv Morgan has been in this tournament for as long as she has been. And it's nothing against Liv. I want to preface that because I know people are probably going to take this out of context. I like Liv Morgan, and I think that Liv Morgan is she's serviceable as a women's champion as of right now, only because, and I say that only because she's never defended a championship since winning it at WrestleMania. We're almost at 100 days of her never defending the women's championship, and that's almost how long Jade was when she was the women's champion over on SmackDown. To me, I felt like this whole entire tournament was to determine who was going to face Liv at SummerSlam, and then all of a sudden I find her in this tournament, and we're like, what the hell is she doing in this thing? And now we're in the finals with her. It's got to be Io. I understand your guys' logic of Io and Rhea finally getting the win over her. But we got to figure out if Rhea's going to be even okay for SummerSlam.
True.
Because her injury with her knee and everything like that. So it would not shock me if they just do this match again at SummerSlam because at the end of the day, we're still trying to figure out what the status is for Rhea Ripley. And even if she would be okay to go, I know SummerSlam's a big enough stage for Rhea and Io, but imagine that happening on a WrestleMania. I think that would be honestly pretty cool to see. So I think Rhea and Io could be saved for further down the line. And I just think we could possibly get this match again. If Rhea's good to go, we could possibly go down that road of seeing this match at SummerSlam. But I got to go Io, and I would not be shocked if they just run this match back again.
That is a good point. I didn't even think about that. Definitely running it back between Io and Liv. That's a good point as well too.
Especially if Stephanie is not coming back.
Exactly.
Stephanie's still not here either.
Yeah. We still don't really know the extent of her injury or when she's coming back or her timetable or whatnot have you. So again, that's another big question mark with the Rhea Ripley injury, of course, as well. So there's a lot of question marks.
I wanted an Io Charlotte final.
Yeah, I think that would have been better. And I think Charlotte, as big as Io and Rhea would be for SummerSlam, I think even bigger would be Flair and Rhea, given their history, given their bangers that they've had in the past as well. So, yeah, I agree with you there. Like I said, we honestly shouldn't be here with this match at all.
They're pretty much doing Cargill and Charlotte now as like a pivot for SummerSlam because, again, we still don't know the Rhea injury stuff. So we got to figure that out.
So what I'm reading here is there is a target to get Stephanie back for SummerSlam.
Nice.
So I just looked up her injury. At first, the report suggested that the extended absence of at least 6 weeks, with the earliest optimistic target pointing to the earliest optimistic targets pointing to a return by SummerSlam in August. So they are aiming for her return for SummerSlam.
Yeah, nice. I mean, either way, it can work. It's just a matter of what WWE does decide to do. It will not put it past me if Liv win this thing. But I think it absolutely should be Io, and then Io should be able to face whoever she pleases. Even though that was not the stipulation in the last few King of the Rings, where they could just choose whatever champion, whatever brand won. They normally just got to challenge that brand's championship, depending on whether they were from Raw or SmackDown. It's been going back and forth the last couple of years.
It's kind of turning into the Royal Rumble, kind of, sort of. So
of how that rule is kind of turned around. Yeah. So, I mean, it's Io or bust in this tournament for me, and we'll just see where it goes.
The next match we have Braun Breaker taking on Seth Rollins inside a steel cage. Now I have to preface this by saying this as well. This is a match that kind of shocked me because I thought Braun and Seth were pretty much done after their last match that they had on Monday Night Raw. So to get this match, especially when Seth Rollins to me was a shoo-in to win the men's King of the Ring, and then we get Roman and Seth at SummerSlam. This is surprising to me. I didn't really see this match coming at all. But I'm gonna get you guys' predictions on this. Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins. Who you got? Phil, I'm start with you.
It's got to be Seth for me. And this has to be the end of Seth Rollins and Division Vortex. It's just time. It's time to end this thing. It's time for Seth Rollins to do something new. To me, this is pretty much a number one contenders match without being a number one contenders match. I want Seth Rollins to get out of Division Vortex and then go on to face Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. I'm trying to figure out how this could honestly work. I know we're going to be talking about the King of the Ring in very soon. And I'm trying to stay optimistic for that, guys. But if you guys know me, you guys know where I'm going. I just think that with this match, I honestly thought that at the end of the day, they were probably going to try to go all the way into SummerSlam with this whole Seth Rollins Vision Vortex thing. I'm glad they're doing the steel cage match at least here, mainly because to me, this signifies the end. It has to signify the end for these, for that faction and for this guy and Seth Rollins. He needs to get out of this thing, have Seth Rollins beat Braun Breaker, and just end this thing once and for all. Seth needs to do something better and bigger for his time and for what he is aiming to do, trying to get that world title that he never lost. So get him that win.
I mean, like I said, speaking of the end, like I said, I thought we were already done.
I
really don't know what else.
I didn't see it as that when they did that. When they did that match on Raw. I just felt like that was it. We washed our hands with it.
I don't know. But
I don't know, but it's got to be Seth for me.
Yeah, is it bad of me as a wrestling fan to say I can give two shits about this match?
no,
No, because
No?
this
I-
has
There's
been
nothing at
going on
stake.
for far too long between this faction and Seth.
I don't care for this match. And if this is a number one contenders match without calling it a number one contenders match, then I'm not for that either.
Yeah.
Look, I get it. There's fans of Seth Rollins out there that want to see Seth go take on Roman. I get it. I'm that one fan that doesn't want to see it. I don't want to see Seth and Roman. We've seen it way too many times in the mid 2000 teens. And to get to that point today, I get it. Roman has evolved. Roman has grown. Seth Rollins, he did his Seth Rollins thing. But Seth Rollins hasn't given me that vibe or believability of like, oh, he should be in the number one contendership picture. He doesn't. I mean, I think there's plenty of other competitors to challenge Roman Reigns moving forward with this reign. And plus, again, yeah, we're going to talk about King of the Ring. Depending on who wins King of the Ring and what route they go down, you know, I'm just not for Seth Rollins challenging Roman. But
I just don't know what Seth Rollins would do outside of that.
I'll say this right now. Seth wins this match. It's an obvious. I think Seth wins this match. And maybe, just maybe, this could be the start of like a fall apart of the Vision, because the Vision is going absolutely nowhere.
It's dead.
It's so dead in the fucking water. It's, you know, it's disgusting. Like, I don't know. I just have the loss for words for it. I'll go Seth just to say who I think's going to win, but then this better be the end of it, and this better be the start of the dismemberment of the Vision, because they have absolutely nothing holding them together. They just lost their tag team titles. Nobody's holding a championship. Logan Paul's out for an extensive period of time. So, I mean, Braun Breaker maybe continue just with Paul Heyman and the other guys break off. You know, I could still see Logan Paul and Austin Theory being a tag team. I can see those two, because I'll say this, I kind of grew on them being a tag team a little bit. I did start liking them two being a tag team because they were gelling. They were doing pretty cool things in the ring. They fed off each other in promos. So kudos to them. Plus, it gives Logan Paul something to do to where he could be a pompous jackass or an asshole, but now to have Austin Theory to add on to that with them feeding off each other, it works. So, as much as I would like to see the Vision thing split up, I don't see it happening after this weekend. I don't, because of everybody's ties with Paul Heyman. They're going to try and keep this group together as long as they can.
Oh yeah, they're going to try to do this until the wheels fall off with these guys, and
the wheels have already fallen off. Phil,
that's what I'm saying.
The wheels fell off. The bearings are breaking. The axles have snapped off, and the exhaust even has like 50 holes in it. Okay,
you don't think I know that? You don't think I know that? Like, I mean, come on, dude. All I was trying to say is that WWE continuously tries to push this shit when they know that this is not working. It's not working. It never really has worked. And at the end of the day, when they put Austin freaking Theory in this thing, as soon as I saw that guy in this thing, I knew. I was like, all right, this thing is over. This thing is dead.
Like the Austin Theory edition, to be honest, I did.
To be honest, I never liked Austin Theory. I never liked the guy. So when he just showed up in that godforsaken masked man thing again, it was just, to me, it was just dead. Now, I felt like that was the last thing. I felt like that was like Austin Theory's last chance, and if he couldn't really make it work, then I don't know what else to do with him at this point in time. Look, we haven't seen Paul Heyman in weeks. Okay, ever since he got speared through the barricade. Nothing of this has been important for any of these guys. Bronson Reed is still injured. Logan Paul got hurt. We saw Braun Breaker come back from the hernia, so he was hurt. The only person that realistically has survived this entire thing, which is shocking to me, was Austin Theory when it came down to the injuries, to the injury bug that's happened. I just can't seemingly stand division anymore. I saw what they were trying to do when Seth Rollins is doing this thing with Braun Breaker, because Braun Breaker has been a huge future piece for the company, and at least they kind of see him as that. But he's fallen off for the better part of the last couple of months, and with another loss here to Seth in this cage, if that does happen, I don't know what's next. I don't know what's next for Braun Breaker, and that sucks to even say, because Braun Breaker should be a hell of a lot higher than what he is right now, and he's just not. So it's Seth. And then whatever happens with Braun. And that to me is scary. And I'm even saying something like that.
So I have a lot to unpack based off just what some of the things that Mike had said. Now for me, like I said, I think in a perfect world, you get all these guys in the division healthy again. You have some segment, right? This is how I was picturing this a couple weeks ago. And Braun just destroys everybody in this group, and the only two left standing is the two that matter the most in this group, and that's Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman. That is the vision that you go with, because that's the only two people in that group that make sense. We've been talking about Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman for years, even before he got called up to the main roster.
Yep.
All these other guys, you have a whole creative staff.
Yep.
You can find something better for them to do. Okay, Bronson Reed can go off and he can go to SmackDown for all I care. Destroy people in 2-minute matches. I don't care. Right? If you want to keep Logan Paul and Austin Theory together as a tag team, great, cool. Right? Like, I don't really care where they go with it after that. And again, I agree with Mike. I don't see it ending. It's not going to end.
No.
After this, they probably then go and feud with the Street Profits some more, I'm sure, over the tag team titles, which is great, because the tag team division on Raw is ice cold. Cool. The Street Profits just won the tag team titles. Is that going to just miraculously make the tag team division better? No. We can dream about it, but it's not going to overnight. It's going to take some time. So if they want to have some feuds over that for going into the summer, whatever, great. Me and Mike have had lengthy conversations about this. They should honestly transition to Profits versus the Usos. I would love a best of 7.
Yes.
From the Profits and the Usos. The final match, they both win 3 apiece, and then the final match is for the tag team titles. If you could somehow stretch that out to, I don't know, SummerSlam. SummerSlam's kind of close, or possibly Rumble, Mania next year in Saudi, that would be amazing. Why not? What else do you have to do for the tag team division?
See, I can agree, and I'm sorry, I just want to get this one last thing about this is Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker together disband from the group and just be them. I agreed 100%. Austin Theory and Logan Paul, again, they have been gelling. They have been a good tag team for the most part when they're in ring. Their promo work together has been, sometimes hilarious, sometimes funny, sometimes just dead in the water shit. And then you got Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed seems to be, what's crazy enough, the oddball man out of this group, because the injury bug just keeps hitting him. We could sit here all day and say, man, Bronson Reed comes back and he could just steamroll through people and get his way up to this level or that level or that. But the man has to stay healthy. That's the number one fucking key. He needs to stay healthy. And it's been something that has been nagging him.
Yes.
He's plaguing him for the past year and a half.
Yes.
2 years at most, it's been plaguing him. It has not been on his side. And it gets to that point where, sadly enough, and I'm gonna say this, and please do not hate on me for saying this. And if you do, I get it. But it would not surprise me if Bronson Reed, and I do not wish this upon him either. Do not wish this upon any pro wrestler in this business. But it would not surprise me if TKO and WWE made the decision to put him on one of those lists. after WrestleMania, after
Yeah.
SummerSlam,
Yeah.
to where he is gone. Because they're going to look at it and say, he just can't stay healthy. Well, how can we do stuff with him if he's not going to be able to be in the ring? We have to move forward. And it wouldn't surprise me. The good thing about this, though, is there's so many companies out there that he can go into and possibly thrive.
Oh,
That's
Jonah
the great
would
thing.
thrive anywhere.
But
Jonah
I
would
think
thrive anywhere.
I think his time in WWE ultimately has passed him. And that's just my opinion.
And it's his, I believe it's his second stint in the company.
Yeah.
'cause
It's
he
a
did get
second
released
stint,
before. Yeah.
but the injuries just have not been
Oh,
helping
no.
him, which sucks. And I
I
know it's out of his control.
I agree with that
know.
100%.
I know it's out of his control. You can't avoid an injury. It happens. It's a freak accident. It just happens.
And that was a freak accident too. It
But-
was like, yeah.
ultimately,
But it happens.
Ultimately, sad thing is companies, whether it's in pro wrestling or out of pro wrestling, look at it and they look like, oh man, like you're kind of costing us money because you're not here to help us produce, move forward, anything like that. We got to cut ties. And that happens anywhere.
Oh no, I get that. I know. I'm just saying, like, man, you know, I've always been a Bronson Reed guy. I have. And
I'm a fan of him. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that like when they originally put him in this thing and they kind of did the bronze, like they weren't realistically a tag team, but they did some things together for the time that they were in division, and I liked them as a duo. And those two in Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed kind of fit the mold of what that Heyman guy could have possibly been, especially Breaker. I mean, Breaker is an obvious one, but like I just felt like they finally found something for Bronson Reed to sink his teeth into, because the last time wasn't really doing much. And it sucks to say it, but I do see where you are coming from. I hope it doesn't come to that, but I mean, we'll just see where the cards may fall when Pete does get back and what they do with him after.
Now again, like I said, with me with this particular match, well, of course, my prediction is it's got to be Seth Rollins. I'm in agreement with you both. Otherwise, I really don't know what we're doing. I've made my grievances, my gripes about steel cage matches. I'm kind of tired of seeing them. They're just kind of lost their meaning. Having 40 of them every year, it seems like now. So it is what it is. But my prediction is Seth Rollins. Moving on. Again, another very interesting match on this card that really caught my eye was this triple threat match. So Cody Rhodes putting his undisputed WWE Championship on the line against Gunther and Sami Zayn. For me personally, I would have to say it needs to be Sami Zayn. We got off track with Sami with the whole United States Championship win that he really didn't need. He shouldn't have been the guy to take the title off Carmelo Hayes and the great work that Carmelo Hayes was doing. So they took this weird detour with him when it should have been the focus really should have just been him and Cody Rhodes. And you know, whether he's a heel, whether he's not a heel, it's interesting. Sami definitely is in this, I don't know, tweener stage where his character is definitely evolving and it desperately needs to evolve. You can't keep going back and forth with this. Oh, he's the underdog and he's this and that. The dude has been more successful within the past two and a half years now. Yeah. Mania with Kevin Owens, beating Gunther, beating Carmelo Hayes. Like, he's not an underdog anymore. The dude's freaking. He if anything, he's a sleeper. You think he's gonna go in and lose a said match, and he freaking comes out and he's new champion. Like, what? He's not an underdog anymore. So we got to stop doing this. And then for the past, it seems like for the better half of 2 years on Raw and SmackDown, he keeps coming out cutting these promos saying he's championship caliber, he's world championship caliber, and he fails every single time. This to me would be the prime opportunity to put the championship on Sami Zayn, and they love him in Saudi. He's going to get the biggest reaction, heel or not.
Yeah, this is where the ride or die Sami fans are that he's been talking about. Saudi Arabia is where like those fans really do exist.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind it.
And then, like I said, I would say sort of Sammy and Cody for SummerSlam. I think that will be a big match for SummerSlam. So,
And I don't even think it would have to be a long reign for Sammy. Just
not really.
just to do something.
Go the Darby route. You know, why not?
Yeah, but honestly, I think it's going to matter of what happens inside the King of the Ring match, though, because I had said weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I said it, or last week actually, that if we got Obafemi and Jey Uso, my believability was Brock Lesnar shows up and costs
for sure
Obafemi, right? And Jey Uso having the promo that he had this past week saying that he doesn't give a shit who he faces in the King of the Ring. He's going to go after. He already has it tenfold focus of the fact he's going after Cody Rhodes. He's got that decision made. Cody Rhodes is the guy at SummerSlam he's going after. Not even a thought crossed his mind to go after Roman Reigns. So we know if Jey wins, which in my thought he's going to, we're going to get Cody and Jey. Now, if they threw that curveball and had Sami Zayn win the WWE Championship and held it for the next 6-7 weeks until we get to SummerSlam and we get Jey and Sami, I mean, just think of the backtracking of storyline and we're getting from that because of the bloodline.
They never really closed that chapter when Jey was so mad that Sami was a part of the whole thing.
So it's like they're kind of saying, hey, we're setting you guys up to follow a story for this, setting you guys up to follow a story for that, and setting you guys up to follow a story for this leading into SummerSlam. They are secretly saying, you know, we're doing that. We have plans of doing something, and we're going to leave you on the edge of your seat because we have multiple situations. Women's King of the Queen of the Ring, Liv Morgan and Io Sky. Like, whoever wins that, it don't matter because if they go after Rhea Ripley, we know they have history. Sami Zayn has history with Jey Uso. Cody Rhodes has history with Jey Uso. Gunther has history with Jey Uso.
Oh, we know.
So the history for if Jey Uso were to win the King of the Ring, which again I believe he is going to, he has history with the man he's going to face at SummerSlam.
Right.
Now, as far as this match, I'm sorry, I see Cody retaining. I do.
Yeah.
I do not see them.
Yeah.
I do not see them taking the belt off of Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
I'm a Cody fan. Don't get me wrong. But there are times where I'm like, okay, put the belt on somebody else and let's see what they can do with it because other guys need to have that opportunity to do so. And Sami Zayn, we have not seen him have an opportunity yet. So why not put the belt on Sami and see what he can do through the summertime until we get to SummerSlam? Give us that little bit of preview.
Take a risk.
So, I mean, we got it with Darby Allin in AEW. Do I believe Darby's going to win the world title at some point in his career again? Yes, I do. I believe it. And he's going to have a different run. Sami Zayn, this could be his tester run. See how he does. Because if he faces Jey Uso, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I see Jey Uso walking out of SummerSlam as champion.
Yeah. Well,
and giving that power.
Oh, dear God, no.
Full on power to the bloodline. Because you can tell they are 100% on board with this bloodline storyline. You can tell that.
Oh, I know. Unfortunately.
Yeah, so they are going to push to make this group as strong as they can. So no matter who wins this belt, doesn't matter. I think Jey Uso at SummerSlam ultimately ends up on top. But I see Cody Rhodes walking out still champion this weekend.
Oh, you just hurt my entire soul saying that Jey Uso is going to become the WWE champion at the end of SummerSlam. Look, to me, it's going to be Cody. I would love it if Sami got the win here. But WWE does not have the brain capacity or the balls to do something risky like that.
Real quick though, I'm sorry. Got to cut you off for a second. You said about Jey Uso being the WWE champion. Again, all power would be in the bloodline. That doesn't necessarily mean Jey Uso has to be WWE champion. Him and Roman can swap belts.
I don't give a
because
shit.
Cody is holding Roman's original belt.
I don't give a shit about
Just-
swapping belts or whatever.
just
Like
saying.
that. Just like
we swapped belts one too many times with the brand split and tag teams flipping
I'm
shows.
done with
now.
that shit.
Is
I'm
it
done
out
with
of the
that
realm
shit.
of believability of them actually doing that?
Not with this regime and this.
Not with this regime, no,
It's
because
inept creative.
Ari Emanuel loves the bloodline, and
There you go.
they do whatever the freak they want to do. But
There
no,
you go.
it's gonna be Cody for me, because at the end of the day, I just feel like that WWE does not have the balls to do anything risky with this. I have thought that the Sami Zayn character has been the most compelling and the most interesting character that WWE has had in quite some time, especially over on Friday Night SmackDown, because we all know Friday Night SmackDown is an absolute chore to watch, and that is an understatement to say the very least. Gunther has lost pretty much all credibility and aura ever since retiring. Goldberg, Cena, Styles, name it, he's done it, but at the end of the day, he's just done nothing with that. And it's sad to kind of see the downfall of Gunther. And I just do not see a world where Cody Rhodes just not walk in to SummerSlam as the WWE champion. So I'm just gonna go with Cody to retain the Undisputed Championship here. But if Sami were to win and do like that 6-week championship run, I would not be opposed to it, because Sami Zayn is the best thing going on SmackDown right now in my eyes, and it's not even close. But we'll see. I'm going Cody.
I just the idea of Jey Uso winning the WWE Undisputed Championship. I hope that does not happen. But
no, it better not.
Dear Lord,
it better freaking not.
Bad enough. It's bad enough. We're staring down the barrel of King Yeet. I don't think we need him as WWE champion.
It's bad enough that he's had this whole new catchphrase of like, "This is your warning shot." Bow. I fucking hate that thing.
That promo was awful. The promo was
terrible.
It.
First of all, you're not Kenny Omega with the bang or the bow or anything.
That's what it was. We watched Kenny. That's what it was.
Like you're not Kenny. You're not Carmelo, because now all of a sudden he's saying that he's him. You're not. And at the end of the day, when you were talking with Oba this Monday on Raw, you were so out of breath you couldn't even make a sentence. So stop it. Put yourself together, and maybe, just maybe, you can actually have a decent match with Oba. I'm not counting on it though, because I'm so mad that we have gotten this far. All right, go ahead. I don't mean to take over.
Speaking of said match, might as well talk about it, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's right. That's the only match we have left.
No, we have one more after this. But since we're on the topic,
wait, why'd you? Oh, okay, you're saving. You're saving that you.
I was saving. I was saving the King of the Ring for last, but since we're on the topic of it, might as well. I mean,
I guess, yeah. Sure,
Oba Femi taking on Jey Uso. Winner becomes the King of the Ring and goes on to SummerSlam with a World Championship title shot. Okay. I think we all know that it would be nice for Oba Femi to win this, and then of course go and then challenge Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now I don't know if you guys will agree with this sentiment. I think it's just too soon. I think it's too soon.
I agree.
100%. I agree.
You have him beat. We've already kind of stumbled a couple of times with Oba Femi. You know, he had a strong showing in the Royal Rumble. He's had a strong showing just in his call-up, in his short period of time, his call-up from NXT on the main roster. You would
Brock
think
twice.
You would think he would have major implications after beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and then it was just kind of nothing after that.
Mm-hmm.
He goes on to then have these open challenges, and it's just like, I don't really know what that has spawned.
That meant nothing.
Yeah, it really hasn't done much of anything since then. So, and I think they are suffering from a case of jumping the gun. I think a little too soon. So if they were to have that match happen, let's just go in the realm of the dream world for a second, right? if Obafemi were to end the reign of Roman Reigns this soon already, when they just put back the bloodline and all this other stuff like that, he becomes world heavyweight champion. Then what? It's always what's next. It will be hot for probably 2 weeks, and then everybody's going to be wondering what next. Who challenges?
You already reached a mountaintop. The only way you can go now is down.
So I still stick to what I had said for my fantasy booking of Obafemi. I think Oba should then win come next year, win the Royal Rumble. That's what I would say. Do you extend that out a little bit more? Give him his WrestleMania moment, possibly. That's what I think you should do. Extend that out a little bit more. But it's also important to what you do with him after this. After this, we're probably staring in the face of Brock and Oba 3. And then after that, you got to have something else to kind of that gap in between is going to be very important. So I'm going with Jey Uso, probably with the help of Brock Lesnar interfering and attacking Obafemi. So I don't like that. I don't like the idea of King Yeet, but again, we're getting Brock and Oba 3, so that should be very exciting for SummerSlam, Brock and Oba 3. Mike, I'm going to start with you.
I'm with you. Same thing. I think Brock comes in and Jay wins. Like I said a few minutes ago, Jay goes on to challenge whoever the WWE champion is at SummerSlam, and again, I think Jey Uso walks out WWE champion, and I'm not going to let it go past me to the fact that Jay and Roman do their title swaps. See, they do have, and here's the thing is, as much as, we don't like title swaps and everything like that, if they were to do that, they could still build a story off of it. I mean, you think of it this way. Jey Uso wins King of the Ring, goes on to win the WWE Championship, him and Roman swap, Roman gets his belt back, Jey Uso gets, his world title back, and we could possibly run Obafemi and Jey Uso back, and Obafemi face Jey Uso for the world title. Then we don't have to necessarily get Obafemi and Roman Reigns as early as people would think we would if he were to go on to face Roman at King of the Ring. But I'm with you. I think Obafemi's path should be go win the Royal Rumble, go to WrestleMania. Don't do it this soon. But the bigger question is after we get past SummerSlam, which the expectancy is Obafemi and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, what do you do with them until we get to January? That's the other question, because you'll lose all type of traction if you don't have them doing anything. And what if another superstar becomes bigger in the fame eyes than Obafemi? People aren't going to give a shit about Obafemi. He is a big, massive presence right now. And it's because he has that big spotlight on him, no pun intended, because he has a spotlight on him. But he also has the fans who are 100% behind him right now. We know, after watching this for as long as we've all been watching wrestling, that can go away in an instant, no matter what. So my big question for WWE is going to be, what do you do with Oba after SummerSlam? Whether you have him go face for a championship, face Brock Lesnar, win or lose. What do you do with him until we get to a certain point, whether it's Survivor Series, whether it's the Royal Rumble? That's going to be the big question. I think they have themselves backed into a corner with Obafemi right now. I do. He is hot. He's got a lot of traction under him. He does. And don't get me wrong, I like Obafemi just as much as the next person. But I feel like they're going to have them. They already have themselves backed into a corner at this moment with Obafemi after SummerSlam. So, but as far as King of the Ring, I'm going Jey Uso on this with Brock Lesnar interfering. And Jey Uso goes on to SummerSlam.
Phil?
Yeah, we're cooked. It's Jay. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we've all seen the scenarios that people have been throwing around about what Obafemi could do on the road to SummerSlam if he were to win the King of the Ring. But ever since the whole involvement of him and Brock Lesnar has happened with the WrestleMania match and then the second match, and now them building up to Oba and Brock 3, there's just been a lot of scenarios about what Obafemi could do if he were to somehow win the King of the Ring and still make this match happen with Brock Lesnar. You could do the two matches on the one weekend thing, a la WrestleMania 40, with one happening on night one, the other one happening on night two. The Saturday night's main event happens like 2 weeks before SummerSlam. If they want to do something, want to make a big marquee match happen in Madison Square Garden, I've seen people throwing around that they can do Brock and Oba in Madison Square. That's not going to happen there. Trust me. But like, you know, there are just topics being thrown around with that, and they're trying to make it work with Obafemi winning the King of the Ring as much as they can, because everybody and their mother wants to see this man win King of the Ring to face Roman. But I agree with you, Kim, in saying that that is far too soon. I, for one, am absolutely in agreement with you that, to me, I feel like if Obafemi won the Royal Rumble, to me, that would mean a lot more and have a lot more weight to it than to just have him win King of the Ring and then possibly face Roman at SummerSlam. We don't need to rush things with him. We don't. This is a talent that you want to see them develop in terms of like getting that big marquee match for him when the time is right to do so. And you don't want to split the focus between those two feuds of like him and Brock and him and Roman, especially if WWE tried to do the two matches on the same weekend like they did with WrestleMania 40. With WrestleMania 40, it made sense because everything bled together. These two matches don't bleed together in any way, shape, or form. So do what you need to do to keep that match special between Roman and Oba. Build to it. Make that match happen and make that happen when the time is right and make it special when it happens. It's going to be Jey Uso, and he'll most likely be facing Cody Rhodes in my eyes, but I mean, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, Jey Uso wins and Brock Lesnar interferes, and we get Brock and Oba 3 at SummerSlam. Will he retire? Who knows? Because everybody thought he retired at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he didn't. I actually did not think that was a retirement. I just thought that was his last WrestleMania, and the retirement in Minneapolis was just always my way of thinking with him. But I mean, people thought that was the end, and there he was the next day or the next few weeks after that. I don't know, but regardless, it's going to be Jey.
Last but certainly not least, this was not supposed to be the last match that I was going to talk about, but last match on this card that we have to make our predictions for is Tiffany Stratton taking on Jade Cargill, Women's United States Championship. I'm going to say Tiffany Stratton retains here. I think this is a no-brainer. I don't think this is going to be as good of a Jade Cargill showing as the two matches she had with Rhea. Rhea is Rhea. Tiffany is Tiffany. Right. Tiffany is, while she is great, Tiffany is not, she's not as much of a leader in ring as Rhea is. And I think this match is going to be pretty sloppy because of that. Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be the same caliber. I think that's what they're thinking. They're thinking that they think that they're going to get a quality mid-card title match out of this. And I don't think it's going to be the same caliber as her and Rhea. Like I said, I'm not a Jade Cargill fan. I don't think I ever will be at this point, but I will give her props. The two matches she had with Rhea were two of the best, if not her two best matches as a part of WWE that she's had thus far.
I believe they are.
And like I said, she stepped her game up. She knew the task at hand. She knew who she was in the ring with. She's in the ring with somebody who
she had to step up.
Love. What?
She had to step up because if she didn't, then
it would have been bad.
I mean,
it would have been bad. But like I said, she knew she was in the ring with somebody who was a top dog and somebody who, like I said, creative just absolutely loved in Rhea Ripley. So she knew she had to step her game up. And like I said, with this one, she's definitely going to have to approach it a lot different with it being Tiffany Stratton. So we'll see what happens. I could be wrong. This could be another sleeper on the card. I don't know. And we could be looking at another great Jade Cargill match. I don't know. But I'm just looking at it right now, just on paper, and it just looks like this is not going to be the same caliber of a match or same quality as her and Rhea. But I got Tiffany retaining here. Phil, your thoughts?
If we want to see the United States Women's Championship on another WWE PLE, this is Tiffany and Jade Cargill's chance to make this as as okay as possible so that WWE can see that the US title could be on another premium live event. There's a reason why they haven't had the United States title on a premium live event before, because mainly at the end of the day, WWE doesn't see this title of importance. When they put it on, like, they put it on Chelsea, they put it on Julia, I don't even know the history of this goddamn championship, but I know those two have held it. And realistically speaking, like, it's not. Reigns haven't been lighting the world on fire with this title.
No.
And it's hard to. They did it with Zelina. Those are the only three women's United States champions that have ever happened.
Chelsea
besides
twice,
Tiffany.
Zelina, and that's it.
And I thought when Tiffany won it on that episode of SmackDown in Texas, I thought, all right, they put a higher caliber superstar. Because let's face it, that is what Tiffany is. She's a higher caliber superstar with this championship. And I'm not saying she's on the level of Becky by any means, but she's at least a higher enough caliber superstar to say, all right, let's see if WWE can make something with this United States Championship when they had Becky hold the IC title for however long she did and however many times she did. Because Becky made the IC title important. Becky made the IC title seem like something to want to fight for on Raw.
Yeah.
So I thought that could have been possibly a thing with Tiffany and this US title. It really hasn't. She's held this thing for 2 months and really hasn't done a single thing. So they're doing this match with Jade. I'm like you. I'm not a fan of Jade Cargill. I don't think I ever will be either. But this is pretty much put up or shut up when it comes down to the United States Championship being on PLEs. And to me, it's got to be Tiffany. I just do not want to sniff a world where we have Jade Cargill win another championship, because the last run was not good. So I don't think it would be anything different with the United States Championship. So it's got to be Tiffany. And it's put up or shut up to see another U.S. title match on another PLE.
See, I feel different. I think they have more options with her being a mid-card champion opposed to being a world champion. I'm a fan of Jade Cargill. Excuse me. I am. I'm a fan of Jade Cargill. But I'm also not afraid to admit that since being in WWE, things have not been the greatest for her in ring. Her and Rhea tore the house down at WrestleMania. Tore the house down in their rematch. Like, they did their thing. Hopefully this is a build-off for Jade Cargill with Tiffany Stratton, but I also don't have the confidence that we're going to see that version of Jade Cargill against Tiffany, because she knew she had to step her game up with Rhea. With Tiffany, I think she knows that, okay, she could be a little more lax with everything. But as far as Jade being world champion, I think they accomplished what they wanted to, is putting her on that pedestal. Now it's, okay, now we can start doing different things with her because we don't have to worry about putting the world title on her. I think they're going to have more options with Jade Cargill being a United States champion opposed to being the world champion, because she could face other, mid-card leveled. I mean, there's more mid-card leveled women on the roster than there are women that would be believable of going after a world championship in this time, until they build those women up to get them to the level of world championship. So I wouldn't look past the fact of Jade Cargill winning the U.S. title, but Tiffany Stratton only had this belt for 2 months. I think they're going to keep that run a little longer, and we may run this match back. Maybe SummerSlam. Maybe they do good enough to put this on SummerSlam. So, but I'm going to go Tiffany Stratton to retain just to be safe. But I really do truly want to say Jade Cargill.
That is all I got for you for Night of Champions. Now on to AEW Forbidden Door. Obviously skipping over the pre-show women's tag team title match. I don't care. Going solely off of just the main card. First match we're going to talk about. We're going to go with. I'll go with Jon Moxley taking on Bandito for the Continental Championship. Like I said, I've definitely not minced my words when it comes to Bandito. Big fan of Bandito. I think he's on an amazing run right now. He just puts on great matches. He really hasn't done a lot, or they haven't done much with him in terms of just actual like stories and things like that. But match quality, I think the guy is absolutely amazing. I honestly wouldn't mind if he beats John Moxley for this championship. I don't think it could hurt. He would then hold 2 championships off 2 different brands. I think that would be pretty cool as well. Moxley just, I mean, he can't go on forever with this title. I mean, I guess he could, but it would get to a point where it's like, all right,
Yes,
now
he
we're
can.
just doing.
Come on, this is AEW. Yes,
That's what I said. He realistically could, but it would come to a point where he's just doing like, repeat opponents that we've already seen him face, and it'd be like, okay, now we're doing him in Takeshita 4. Like, why? Like it would make no sense. I think we need a new direction, a new champion. And I wouldn't mind if it was Bandito. Now, realistically, probably Moxley's going to retain. There's been at least 2 or 3 different pay-per-views this year where we thought he was going to lose the title, and he didn't. So Moxley obviously is probably going to retain, but I wouldn't mind if Bandito wins this. Mike, I'm going to start with you. Your predictions.
Yeah, I'm going John Moxley in this. I think his reign continues. Look, he had the 10-month run with the world title, kept it in the briefcase, kept it off TV. Now he's having a run with the Continental Championship, a championship he's been wanting to win since the Continental Classic has started. Finally did it. Finally got it. So I don't see them putting the belt on Bandito this weekend. Am I sitting here saying that Bandito wouldn't be the right guy to be the Continental Champion? No. Of course not. And we could see Bandito and John Moxley do this again, maybe at All In. Maybe this match is good enough to where we say, hey, one more time, All In. I'm ultimately waiting for Brody to turn on Bandito and go after that Ring of Honor World Championship. That's what I'm waiting for. And I've been waiting for, 5 months now for that? 4 months?
You've been saying that for the better part of like 4 or 5 months now, yeah.
Waiting a while for that. And I still feel like it could happen. I do.
And it would be a good story to tell. I'm not mad at that.
Would be, because they have that strong backstory now and they've added on to it. So I don't see John Moxley losing this match. I see him retaining the Continental Championship, and it would not surprise me if this match is good enough to stick on All In as a rematch. So John Moxley over Bandito.
Phil?
Yep, it's John. You say that they can have John Moxley hold on to this title forever. They absolutely can. This is AEW, and they love their John Moxley. It's not to say that they don't love them, but love their Bandito, because they absolutely do. They would not be putting him in these positions if they didn't. Bandito's absolutely one of the most entertaining professional wrestlers on the planet right now, considering how beloved he is by the AEW sickos out there and just fan bases all over the world. The guy's absolutely amazing. Do not get me wrong, but yeah, he's not winning this thing. It's John Moxley all the way. I don't know when this ends for John. He has held the championship since World's End back in December.
It's been 6 months.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a solid time, but it's Mox all the way for this for sure.
Next match we have a 3-way tag team match. This is kind of random. The Young Bucks taking on El Sky Team, which is Mystico and Mascara Dorada, versus Unbound Company, Shingo Takagi and Titan, I think is his name.
Yeah, Titan, I think they pronounce it as, but Titan.
Random. I thought the Bucks were going to be taking on the Mighty Don't Kneel, TMDK. That's who I thought, but this was out of the blue. I'm going to say the Young Bucks, just because I don't know a thing about these other 2 teams, so I'll just keep it simple. I don't know. I
know about Sky Team, but I mean, it's not like it's anything of importance to realistically kind of like go into like the lore for you or anything. I have no idea who the hell this Unbound Company is. I know the 2 people, believe it or not. I know Shingo and
I know Shingo.
Titan.
I'm familiar with who Shingo is.
I know both of them. Surprisingly, I know everybody in this match, which is not normal for Forbidden Door. Considering that they do kind of just bring out random people now because
Yes.
of what I'll just say it, what AEW did to New Japan. I'll say it. I'm not afraid to. But yeah, to me, it's just got to be the Young Bucks. I mean, to me, it's the most established team here, and it'll be a solid 3-way tag match. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a random 3-way tag match to make Forbidden Door seem a little bit more forbidden. So there you go.
Mike?
It's them showing the crossover that they're still trying to keep as the Forbidden Door, kicking it open, whatever. I mean, I know the Sky team as singles run guys. I don't know them too much as tag team guys or being a tag team. But yeah, I mean, the Young Bucks. I mean, again, like you guys said, they're the most established, the most well known. We know more about them when it comes to in-ring performance opposed to these other guys being a tag team. So, I mean, Young Bucks all the way. I think this is going to be somewhat of a catapult for the Young Bucks moving forward into the summertime, because in some way, shape, or form, or in some time, we do have to get them back into the tag team title hunt.
Yes.
That's got to happen. It's just a question of how and when, because they're running out of time leading into August 31st for All In. So I think this could be a good catapult point for the Young Bucks to start getting some momentum behind them to lead them in to the summertime and get to All In on August 31st at Wembley.
Speaking of the tag team titles, Copeland and Christian taking on the Dogs for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Again, this is probably one of the easier predictions on this card. It's Cope and Christian. Cope and Christian are going to retain. I don't see why you would take the titles off of them this soon and put them on the Dogs of all tag teams you have in this company.
The
that
Dogs.
just makes no sense. Yeah, no, I don't see it happening. But yeah, no, Cope and Christian, I think retain. Again, like I said, in to your point, Mike. Again, we got to figure out, the biggest question I would say coming out of this match, what are they going to do for All In? Obviously, they have to be represented and have a match, have title defense in. Like I said, AEW is arguably their biggest show of the year for All In. FTR is out of the question right now because FTR is taking a hiatus, so they will not be available for All In. So it could be the Bucks versus Cope and Christian at All In. I wouldn't be opposed to that. But even with that doesn't, to me, that doesn't seem big enough. Like there's something missing with that. So we'll have to see. I don't know. But I'm going with Cope and Christian to retain.
Yeah.
Or Mike.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
My bad. Yeah, Cope and Christian retain. Look, here's the thing: it's odd that the Dogs are involved in this. It's odd that the Dogs are their first challengers for the tag team championships. But in the same sense, I mean, the little story that they put behind it, Cope and Christian saying, I see us in you, the younger version of us, that you guys are trying to make a name for yourself. And them, name drop in the APA and Road Dogg and Billy Gunn last week, and everybody that they name dropped last week that helped them, get to where they're at. The Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, TLC, all that stuff. I like the little backstory behind it. So to give this match a little bit more meaning than just saying, hey, these are your first competitors for the tag titles, see you at Forbidden Door. They gave us a little something, which I liked. So, Cope and Christian walk out still retaining the tag team titles. The Dogs, they're just going to get that spotlight put on them for this pay-per-view. And then we're going to keep moving on to where the Dogs don't mean jack shit after this. So, yeah.
Bill?
Yep, it's CNC for the win. To me, I felt like when they made the Dogs the first challengers was because of the Forbidden Door concept. They have ties with New Japan, and they're just trying to make Forbidden Door more forbidden, even though they're not even realistically a part of New Japan anymore. They are signed here to AEW. It's just an easy first title defense for Cope and Cage. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I like David Finlay. I like what David Finlay brings to the table. But like you said many times here, Cam, and I've agreed with it pretty much every time that you have said it, they're just not believable. And they have not been presented as believable ever since they came here. I like these two individuals. I like the makeup of the team, but if you're not going to get behind them and if you're not going to realistically push them in a direction that they can actually kind of seem successful in, then why should I care at the end of the day? So it's going to be Cope and Cage, and whatever they do at All In, they'll do at All In, whether it's against the Young Bucks or whether it's a multi-team type of matchup, because that's what I ultimately believe will happen. It's just a matter of what they do. So Cope and Cage get the job done here, and then we just wait for the build for their match at All In. Simple.
The next match, Shota Umino versus
Yes.
Pac for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. These two have history. I believe they fought at the same event 2 years ago. So they do have history here. So this is basically their
At Forbidden
rematch
Door
from
2
them.
years ago?
I think so. They fought 2 years ago. I don't remember what event it was. Don't quote me on the event, but they did
I'll
fight
look.
2 years ago. I don't remember what the event was.
Interesting.
So they do have history here. Pac obviously calling out Shota for the championship. I'm gonna assume Shota wins and retains the title. I don't see why.
I was
I
going
don't
to say,
see why
who's the
Pac would
champion?
win this championship. Honestly, I mean, to hold it for probably a number of weeks, maybe a month or two, and then it probably goes back to a New Japan wrestler. Yeah, it would just be random for him to win the championship here. So yeah, I'm going Shota to retain. Phil?
Yeah, I'm going Shota. I was going to ask you who was the champion going in,
Yeah,
but it's
Shota.
Shota that goes in as the champ. It'll be solid. I actually like what Shota does in the ring. Shota's honestly a very solid performer, and we all know what Pac can do. I mean, Pac is honestly, to me, one of the most I don't want to say underrated or underutilized, because when they put him in the ring, he's incredible.
Yeah.
But and they've been doing a lot more stuff with him kind of ever since the whole Death Riders thing came around. So, but yeah, I mean, if Shota retains here for the Global Heavyweight Championship, and you're right, if they just have Pac win this and then just drop it in a month or whatever, when he goes to Japan and just drops it again, it would just be weird. So yeah, Shota gets the win here, and it's pretty simple.
Mike?
So yeah, I'm looking up to see when they last faced each other, because I think you're right, Cam. I think they do have history. So I'm looking to see. Sorry, I was doing this while you guys were talking, and I figured you guys would be a minute. So okay, so I got their match history here. So the first time they faced was at Rev Pro Wrestling on July 10th of 2022. And then on May 29th, 2024, on an episode of Dynamite, it looks like Claudio Castagnoli, Henshiro versus Jay White, Leo Rush, Mystico versus Orange Cassidy versus Pac.
Jesus Christ.
So it was like
Is
an
it a gauntlet?
8-man.
I
It was
think
like
it
an
was
8-man gauntlet match.
Okay.
Might have been a casino gauntlet.
So Forbidden Door, so 2024. That might have been, I don't know if it was Forbidden Door, if it was just an episode of Dynamite. Go.
Maybe Dynamite, because they've done gauntlet matches on Dynamites before.
Yeah.
So
And if it was in May, it wasn't Forbidden Door, because Forbidden Door is always in
yeah,
June.
it would have been Double or Nothing. So yeah, it was an episode of Dynamite. That's what it was. It was an episode of Dynamite. It was just like a 8-man match. That's all it was. It doesn't have a title to it. That's all it was. But here's the thing: is with this event's tricky, especially when they put other brands' championships on the line. Does AEW and New Japan have the relationship to where they would put championships on guys like they used to? Because back in the day, I mean, you used to see Jon Moxley win the IWGP United States Championship. Will Ospreay turned it into the United Kingdom Championship. I don't think today necessarily is that time to where they would do that. They have a thing to where they keep championships on the guys that are defending it from other companies. I don't see Pac winning this match. I will be completely shocked if Pac walks out as champion on Sunday. So I'm picking Shota to win.
All righty. The next match we have Tekla taking on Starlight Kid. And again, we talk about history. These two have history as well. I believe Tekla has not beaten Starlight Kid in Stardom. I think I said her raging war going into Stardom. I've said this time and time again. I think this is the most interesting story going into Forbidden Door, as she was pretty much a big centerpiece of just this whole interpromotional show and program going towards Forbidden Door. I'm going to say this is a no-brainer here, I think, as well. I say Tekla retains. I don't see them taking such a big risk in having someone from Stardom win the AEW Women's World Championship, especially this close to All In. And we're pretty much staring down the barrel of her versus Mercedes at All In for the Women's World Championship. So I'm going to say Tekla. I think this is going to be a pretty good match as well. Again, this could be a sleeper for a women's match on the card. Yeah. Mike, I'm going to get your predictions.
I mean, great position to put Tekla in to beat Starlight Kid finally. Defending the Women's World Championship, and she's doing it at an AEW pay-per-view. Why not? I'm going to say this right now, and you guys, this is the second week in a row that I am positively saying something about Tekla. I've been seeing the videos of her going over to New Japan and doing what she's been doing, and it's been fucking wonderful.
They're great.
My God, has it been good.
You give her the momentum and you give her the time to do it. She can do it. I'm telling you guys.
What she has been doing over in New Japan has been fucking chef's fucking kiss. Like,
they showed another one tonight on Dynamite. I have it on my other monitor here.
And then the promo that she cut was just like, wow. Like, I'm still not a fan of Tekla.
You know what? Just the fact
still not a fan.
Just the fact that you're giving props though is a win for me. So you know what? Like you just go with whatever you want to go for with her. All right, I'll let you take the wheel for it.
But what she has been doing leading up to this, they are making this seem like it's the most important match on this card.
It's the
because
most
of the story
they got.
Everything that they're putting together with this thing, having Tekla go over there and do what she's been doing, it's like, man, the lore that they're putting behind this thing has been freaking phenomenal. And I said it last week. If Tekla can cut promos like she did, then I don't think I would have as much of a problem with her that I do. Yeah. If she can continue doing the things she's been doing, going over to New Japan and all this stuff and the great stuff she's been doing there, attacking. I'm guessing that's the owner of New Japan that she's been attacking.
Yes.
Right? Okay, I'm correct on that. Gotcha. Yes. If she can continue doing stuff like that, then there's going to be growth between me and Tekla. There's going to be. It's going to be a lot harder for her to earn that growth with me than what Toni Storm did, because Toni Storm just grew on me, and I miss her. Toni, where are you at?
Yeah, just asking. She's been sorely missed on AEW.
I miss you, Toni. I miss you a lot, Toni Storm. Really do. But
it's Tony time all the time over here.
Tekla has been freaking killing it these past 2 weeks, and just keep it up. Just keep it up, and maybe one day I'll say, hey, I'm a fan of you. Tekla for the win.
We've come full circle with Mike. Almost.
Yeah, almost. You know, like I said, it's a slow victory, and I'm okay with that. But Cam, what have I been saying with this woman ever since she really came on?
You've been telling me. You have been telling me.
If you give her the right kind of story, and if you give her the right kind of time, and just the right kind of points to give across whenever she needs to, she can do something with it. and she's been doing stuff with this. This is the most Forbidden Door match that they have on this card. This is. Because of the story that they're telling with this, of the lore that's been happening with this, and at the end of the day, with the story that have been happening between Tekla and Starlight, ever since Tekla realistically got fired from Japan. Because that's like a legit thing. People don't think that was legit. That's a legit thing that happened. She got fired from here. So, like, everything has aligned to make this match as important as it possibly can be. Now, it's for the AEW Women's Championship, and do I see Starlight Kid ever winning the AEW Women's Championship in this match specifically? No, not a chance. It's going to be Tekla that wins this thing. But this is going to be an amazing match. For those that don't know, Starlight Kid is only 24 years old, and she is absolutely an awesome talent to have on this card, in this match with Tekla, and just as an overall presence on this card. For those that don't know anything about Starlight Kid, I'm not saying that you have to do your homework, but when you see her on this card, you're going to be amazed, because she's also a very established and amazing wrestler from Stardom that is going to be worth watching. I'm very excited for this match. I'm very interested in this match. I want to see Tekla do well in this, and once they get done with this, they better not drop the ball, because after everything that she has shown here, she needs to continue doing this with the AEW roster.
Starlight Kid made her debut in October of 2015. She's 24. That's 11 years ago.
Yes.
She was 13 years old when she made her debut. That is insane.
Yeah. Well, they start them very young down there.
Oh yeah, I know that.
They start them very young over there. But yeah, like she's an 11-year vet at 24 years old.
Just think she's gonna be oh my gosh, she's gonna be a 20-year vet before she's 35.
Yeah.
Nuts.
But like I'm saying, like she's an amazing in-ring talent. Tekla, what they have done together has been great for the catalog that they have had. So I'm really hoping they get the time that they should with this. And not only that, but Tekla after this needs to start doing this with the AEW locker room, because they can do stuff with her. Man, it's just a matter of getting that.
She's been successful too. Oh my God, she was number 9 on the PW 150. She was number 51 on the PWI 100 back in 2018. So number 9 on the PWI 150 in 2022, number 51 on the top 100 in 2018 before they extended it to 150. She was the Spark Josie World Champion, Artist of Stardom champion twice, Future of Stardom champion once, the inaugural champion, Future Stardom, Goddess of Stardom champion, High Speed champion, New Blood Tag Team champion, Wonder of Stardom champion, inaugural New Blood Tag Team champion championship tournament in 2023, inaugural Future of Stardom champion tournament in 2018. She got a 5-star GP award, a Blue Star Best Match Award of the Year in 2024, and Technique Award in 2021. Year-end awarded. She was a Stardom year-end award 5 times. Best Technique Award winner in 2018. Unit Award in 2018, 2021. Fighting Spirit Award in 2022, and Shining. All these fucking accomplishments from her.
Yeah.
My gosh, man.
She's one of the most accomplished Joshi wrestlers in the Japan landscape at only 24 years old. And I mean, there's no telling what this woman can do for whatever her future may hold in the world of just Joshi wrestling over there in Japan or wrestling in general. She's going to be amazing. I'm telling you guys right now that this is probably one of the biggest stages that she'll ever have in her career. And if she knocks it out of the park, who knows what Tony Khan could possibly want when it comes down to a dual contract or whatever. So watch out for Starlight Kid.
I wonder if she's ever wrestled at Wrestle Kingdom.
The next match is another women's match. It is to determine the final for the Women's Owen Hart Cup. Mercedes Moné taking on Maya World. Kind of a shocking turn of events, not going with Mercedes and Athena, which I thought was going to be the final. But Maya World has definitely done her thing. I was definitely impressed. First time I really had seen her wrestle was against Athena, and that was a pretty good match as well for the Women's Owen Cup. Like I said, this is another no-brainer. With Mercedes winning this match, we've been talking about this in length, even when Mercedes was gone and nowhere to be seen after dropping all of those championships she had from last year into this year. So yeah, it's Mercedes. The biggest match they could do right now going into All In is definitely going to be Mercedes and Tekla for the Women's World Championship. Curious to see the clash of styles between those two and the story that they could possibly produce, which is just as important as what they could possibly produce in the ring. So I'm curious to see what they do there. So that's very exciting to see how that all pans out. But yeah, I'm going with Mercedes here. Mike, your predictions.
I'm going to say this. Number one, this is awesome to see Maya World getting the stage she's being put on for Forbidden Door. Yes. I know a lot of people don't look at Forbidden Door as an important pay-per-view for AEW, but we know the pay-per-views that AEW puts on, and this is a great stage for her. Mercedes is winning this match. We know she's on the road to face Tekla at All In. It's going to happen, but just a great opportunity for her. I mean, obviously a lot of wrestlers are going to have some big opportunities this weekend in a whole. But if I had to pick one wrestler to have a huge opportunity, Starlight Kid would be number one, Maya World 1.5. Because of the fact that Starlight Kid is facing for the World Championship, Maya World is facing for just the Owen Cup. You got to put I would have to put Maya World at 1.5 because of the fact. Now, if she was facing for the Women's World title, then obviously she'd be number one on the list. But those two women, and think of it that way, is both those women are on the same card and the same night for the same company. So AEW's got a huge weekend ahead of them. And I think this is going to be a huge weekend for AEW and the opportunities that they're going to have in front of them to earn the eyes of some fans to come back to watching AEW or watch AEW for the first time. This is a bigger pay-per-view than I think people really realize it's going to be for AEW. So, but I'm going Mercedes on this one.
Phil?
And guess how old Maya World is?
Don't fucking tell me.
She's 23.
Let's see when she started.
So, I mean, look, this is an amazing opportunity for Maya. I, like you, Cam, thought that it was just kind of like a slam dunk decision to do Mercedes and Athena, but I like that they did Maya World here mainly because of the opportunity that does present her with this. And the thing is, Mercedes Moné has been kind of like a silent mentor for Maya ever since she's kind of come into the world of professional wrestling. It hasn't been a long time, but Maya has done some solid things ever since getting kind of. She's yeah. So I mean, it's been a short run for her, but at the end of the day, even though we know that Mercedes is going to win here, I count this whole entire tournament as a win for Maya anyway, because nobody really realistically ever thought that she probably would have made it this far. And she was a replacement for Suri when this whole entire thing happened anyway. So, I mean, yeah, sure. She's not going to win against Mercedes here at the pay-per-view, but considering that she's made it as far as she did, that's a win in and of itself. And she honestly should be proud, especially with the story that they have been telling. It's not a story. It's a legit, real tragedy that happened with her brother. Tragically passing away in that car accident, but the fact that Tony gave the opportunity to Maya to go as far as she did and face Mercedes on this big stage of Forbidden Door is a huge accomplishment, and she should be proud of that. But Mercedes gets the win.
Next match we have Kenny Omega taking on Zack Sabre Jr. Again, a very high caliber, high quality match right here. Again, like I said, I can't sing the praises enough of Zack Sabre Jr., a highly skilled technical wrestler. I think this is going to be a very good match. Now, I ain't going to lie, Phil. I'm not going to lie. You might have sparked something in my head with the whole redemption thing, the whole redemption pay-per-view they got coming up in July.
Yeah.
And I think this could be the start of Kenny Omega's redemption. Maybe this is his proving ground. That they're not really talking about, but it's kind of his proving ground against someone the likes of Zack Sabre Jr.
Right.
I think Kenny gets a win here. In a very hard fought battle here against someone like Zack Sabre Jr. Could he go on to face MJF? I'm skipping ahead here, but could he go on to face MJF for the World Championship at Redemption? I don't know. I'm kind of starting to get on board with that. I went back to the MJF promo, setting up this main, or one of the main events, one of the 3 main events, for Forbidden Door, and heard that word redemption get thrown around, attached to the name of Kenny Omega. So it does make sense. There are some things that are kind of aligning here. But just with this match alone, I think it's gonna be a very good match. Kenny Omega wins here, and we see where we go with it after that. But your thoughts and your predictions?
Yeah. To be completely honest, even though this match has not really been completely built upon, this is probably one of my most anticipated matches on the entire card.
Yes.
Mainly because of just who these two are and what those two can bring to the table and the styles that these two bring for each other. I've been a huge Zack Sabre Jr. guy for however long that I have known him for. And obviously Kenny Omega's, by God, Kenny Omega. I mean, he's just incredible and insane. But yeah, no, this is going to be a great match. I absolutely see Kenny Omega winning here, but that does not mean that Zack Sabre Jr. is going to be any slouch by any means whatsoever with this. He's going to have an amazing match. I honestly am very shocked that Zack hasn't really kind of made the transition here already. I'm not saying that AEW needs to poach another talent from New Japan. Please, for the love of God, they don't have anybody to begin with. But I'm just kind of shocked that Zack Sabre Jr. hasn't really kind of made it over here. Because honestly, I feel like he realistically kind of should be seen a lot more by the people here in the States. Because it's hard to not realistically kind of like this guy once you see him. Now, you got to be into that kind of style of wrestling. Not everybody is. And that's perfectly fine. I mean, not everybody's into that kind of technical style. But for people that are, Zack Sabre Jr. is really high up there in terms of who technical wrestlers of today's era. He's at the tippy top of that. So I'm very much into this thing. But Kenny Omega gets the win, and he continues on his, no pun intended, but redemption tour to possibly get another world championship around his waist. And no, it's not a Liv Morgan redemption tour.
Mike?
And it's not a Cody Rhodes finish the story either, is it?
No.
Just the connection, Kenny and Cody.
For sure.
Yeah. One thing I'm going to say is I'm going to be very focused on this match because this matchup reminds me of a matchup we seen Zack Sabre Jr. in back at Wrestle Dream back in 2023 with one Bryan Danielson. Watch that match. Went back and watched that match because the beautiful thing about HBO Max is you can go back and watch pay-per-views from the past. It's a beautiful thing about HBO Max.
I love them.
But then they also had a rematch at New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I sat there and I compared the matches, and I didn't get to see the whole match from New Japan. I only seen bits and pieces. And I'm going to say this. I kind of liked what I seen from the New Japan match opposed to what I seen from the AEW match. And I think it was because these two guys, we know they haven't been in the ring very often before they faced off in both matches. So it was like, okay, the warm-up happened at Wrestle Dream, and then the big matchup happened in New Japan. I'm going to be looking to see if there's any comparisons because we know Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson have somewhat of comparisons of style. So that's why I'm going to be a little hyper-focused on this match come Sunday. I'm going Kenny Omega on this one. I don't see Zack Sabre Jr. coming into AEW winning this match. Could they shock us and do it? They could. They can always do it. And as far as Zack Sabre Jr. coming into AEW at a full-time basis, I don't see that either because Zack Sabre, he is one of the guys on the forefronts for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I don't see him leaving that. So
right. He's literally one of the he's probably one of the biggest names that they realistically ever got, because they don't do enough to build.
I think he's a
bigger
lifer for
stars over
them.
there.
I think he's
Yeah.
a lifer for them.
Yeah,
He's their Sting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like, with him being here in the States for at least a little while that he is here,
Just have him here more like an
I-
Ishii or something.
well, I mean, Ishii's only around for this time, so is it really kind of anything special for that? I mean,
No. But with Zach, it would be, though.
With Zach, it would be for sure. I just think he should be seen a lot more than what he is.
I agree. I'm a huge fan of Zack Sabre Jr. I've been a fan of Zack Sabre Jr. since, I think the first time I ever seen Zack Sabre Jr. was in the Cruiserweight Classic.
No, that's what I thought.
That was
you
the
were
first
gonna
time I
say.
heard about
Yeah.
him. Been a fan ever since. So yeah, he's amazing. The next
That was
match we have.
2016. Jesus.
Yeah, that was 10 years ago already. So long time ago.
Yeah.
The next match we have the men's Owen Hart Cup final with Will Ospreay taking on Swerve Strickland. Again, like a lot of story here, a lot of great stuff between these two. The promo battle they had last week was fantastic. Again, I talk heavily about that feeling that you get when you have these two and the two top guys or some of the two top guys, and you have that promo, you have that feeling that you're going to witness something really, really good. This could be candidate for match of the year. Could be. I'm taking Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, he's been on one hell of a run, and he's hell bent on getting to his ultimate goal, which is getting to the main event of All In, taking on potentially MJF, maybe Kenny Omega, depending on what happens at Redemption, and winning the AEW World Championship. So I'm taking Will Ospreay and probably the match of the night, and again, like I said, candidate for match of the year. Mike, your predictions.
Man, I do not mean to shit in your guys' cornflakes, but
I can't believe you're doing
I've said this, huh?
You're going
Go
to.
for it. Go ahead.
I've said this many times. If we, since starting this tournament, I wouldn't look past Swerve winning this match. I wouldn't. I know the focus is on Will Ospreay winning this, going to All In, facing for the world title, yada, yada, yada. But there's one key factor that I feel like might fuck this whole thing up, and that is the Death Riders. I said it last week. I don't think the Death Riders are going to get themselves involved. But then I really sat back and thought about this. What if they do? What if they do just so much that they cost Will Ospreay this match? Because how's this Death Rider and Will Ospreay thing gonna end? When is it gonna end? Where is it gonna end? They're not gonna ride this story along for 4, 5, 6 more months. So I wouldn't look past the fact of Swerve Strickland winning this match and having the opportunity at All In, and us getting kind of cheap shot it, and it be Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley at All In. Wouldn't look past it one bit. I'm going to pick Will Ospreay just because he's the favorite to do so. But still would not let it go past me in the fact that Swerve could win this match.
Phil?
Yeah, I'm letting it walk past me. It's Will Ospreay or bust. I like it's the story. It's the story to go for.
Plain simple.
They've gone through all of this trouble. They have made this tournament as predictable as possible to get to this kind of final. Even though it was predictable, it's the right kind of predictable. And if it's the right story to tell, it's the right story to tell, you go for it. I'm not saying that Will Ospreay versus Jon Moxley is not a possibility down the line. It absolutely is. I definitely feel like that is going to be the case down the line. But I think the world title could possibly be involved in that because, I mean, Jon Moxley was kind of like the guy that held that championship hostage for all that time, and Will Ospreay was a catalyst to pretty much end it when Hangman was the one to do it at All In. Was it All In? I'm mixing up things. The last time. It had
The
to have
last time
been
that
All In.
Moxie had the title.
Well, All In and Hang.
Yeah, I think that was All In.
Wait,
Yeah, that
no.
was. I think that I want to say that was All In Texas, wasn't it?
For what?
When did Hangman take the title from Mox?
I think it was All In
Hangman
Texas.
took the title from Moxley at no, it was because Hangman didn't have the belt that long. I think he took that at the pay-per-view in October because then MJF won. I'll look.
Either way, Ospreay was really kind of like one of the people that helped Hangman get that championship off of Mox. I just feel like at the end of the day, if you
All In
got the
Texas.
right,
It was all in Texas. Yeah,
if you got the right kind of story to tell,
didn't feel that long.
He
Didn't feel it.
He didn't have it for
Yeah.
very long.
Yeah.
no, he didn't. But like if you have the right kind of story to tell, you just go for it when you can. And I just think Will Ospreay winning the championship at All In London is just the right way to go. And you're right, this could be a match of the year for AEW side because I kind of split things between the two. And this could be obviously a match of the night contender as well. I'm very much interested to see how this match goes. I'm not putting it past Swerve because Swerve is an absolute legend in his own right and he can do amazing things for this match, but it's Will. It's absolutely him.
Last but certainly not least. Go ahead, Mike.
So, yeah, Hangman on Page, he had it from July 12th to November 22nd. Then he lost it to Samoa Joe, and then Joe lost it to MJF, Darby, and then MJF. So that's why I didn't feel like he had it long because he lost it 3 months later. Had it for 133 days. So
yeah, it was not a long reign for him.
No.
Yeah.
Well, they really didn't do much for both of his world title runs from what I can remember.
Well, his first run was 197 days, so
a little longer.
A little longer.
Last but certainly not least, we have the what is this? 10 on 10? No, 6 on 6. 6 on 6.
Oh, 6 on 6.
Team Briscoe taking on Team MJF. I'm gonna go with Team Briscoe. I think Briscoe's team wins this, and then Briscoe gets his one-off world championship match against MJF. Again, I've been looking at the schedule as well of what AEW has coming up after this. I originally had thought maybe Redemption, but that doesn't really make sense. So maybe some special they have coming up here soon. I could see this being something that they put on for the main event of that.
I think Spring Breakthrough is coming up.
Yeah.
So
that's
I'm thinking
they do it. I'm thinking they do it a Spring Breakthrough. We get MJF versus Mark Briscoe, and then we can move on from there. And like I said, probably move on to bigger and better things for MJF.
If it's probably Beach Break that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, they just did Spring Breakthrough back in
one of those
April.
One of those
okay, it's Beach Break. I'm sorry. They do these summer shows. Whatever. They're actually doing it. They're actually doing it in a summer location this time instead of just doing it in like Arkansas or whatever.
July 8th in Clearwater, Florida.
Yeah, it's like they're doing it in an actual warm state.
Yes.
Instead of doing it in just randomly like in Alaska or whatever, or like they just do whatever. But
and that's
it's probably just Beach Break.
2 weeks. Yeah. So that's in 2 weeks. So they probably do this match in 2 weeks then. And then we can move on from there. They have pretty sure they have another Mexico show coming up too. I believe so. Maybe MJF and Andrade. I would assume breaks away from the Don Callis family by that time. We get MJF and Andrade. So a couple of one-off defenses for MJF before we probably get MJF and Kenny at Redemption. But I'm going with Team Briscoe to win this match. Phil, your predictions?
Yeah, it's Team Briscoe all the way. I see that match happening at at Beach Break on that episode of Dynamite, and that Grand Slam Mexico event that you're talking about is, I believe, like literally just a couple of weeks before All In. So
Grand Slam Mexico is August 5th.
So yeah, so like maybe 3 weeks before All In even takes place. So yeah, MJF will have at least a couple more defenses to get under his belt. I believe at least 3, maybe 4 if they just want to do another random 2-week build to another MJF title defense because that's what they love to do. But yeah, I mean we'll get a solid few more title defenses out of MJF, and then we'll just see what happens with him at All In. But yeah, it's Team Briscoe all the way. To me, I know they have this match listed as last. I'm sure you're probably just looking at it from the Wikipedia page, like I am. But I know they're calling it a main event. But they have been saying over the course of the last couple of weeks that this is a triple main event type show. That's just how they, have been saying things on commentary for. I would not put this as the main event. I'm sorry. I'm not putting this on last. To me, I'm putting Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland on last because that is kind of the match to me that has the most weight considering the World Championship match for All In is at stake. That's what I would do as a main event, but we'll see how they structure this card. It'll be very interesting to see how they structure this card, but regardless, Team Briscoe gets to win and Mark Briscoe gets a title shot.
Mike?
I agree. Will Ospreay and Swerve need to be the main event of this show. It needs to be last on, the most important match. It has all the eyes on it. This match could go on first for all I give a shit. It's a cage match. It's 6-on-6. But I'm going the other way. I'm going Team MJF because if Will Ospreay and Swerve go on last, the last thing I want to see on my screen before they go to black is MJF standing at the top of the ramp, holding up the world title, facing whoever wins this match. That's the last thing I want to see. So I'm going Team MJF on this.
Fair enough. Gentlemen, that is all I got for you for the final boom on River City Radio. Now it is time to plug yourself. Phil, where can we find you?
TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, PhillyMet _. You guys can also follow me over on Twitch at that same handle, trying to get to 1,000 followers over there on Twitch. Doing these watch alongs pretty much every single time that we possibly can. I did not do Dynamite tonight, obviously, because I was here, but I love doing these shows, and I think that we absolutely needed to do this, and I love that we did this here. But yes, follow me over on the socials. You guys will find some predictions for Night of Champions on the channel, so you guys can go check that out. I'm trying to get another predictions video for Forbidden Door out before the show begins on that weekend, and I'll get probably some review shows done for those 2 events as well down the line when I do get time to record. So just stay tuned. The X is where you can realistically be updated for everything. So just follow me on X and you'll know exactly what happens for everything.
Definitely keep up with Phil and everything he's got going on over on his socials. Mike, where can we find you?
Wow, I just had a brain fart. TikTok, Instagram, X, YouTube, Metal Mike 714 is where you can find me. Again, as I always say, don't do too much on my personal stuff. All my stuff happens on the shows. Final episode of the Table Spot coming up here on the network on Monday night with me and Cam right after Monday Night Raw. So join us then. Like I said earlier, the Boom on Twitch and on YouTube, the Boom PW Pod. That's where you want to follow to continue following the Boom. So go follow that right after we get off air here tonight. So that way next week when we go live, that's where you can find us. So go follow that. And as far as the Huddle Hub Podcast, twitch.tv/the Huddle Hub Podcast, youtube.com/at the Huddle Hub Pod. You can also follow us on TikTok, X, and on Instagram at the Huddle Hub Pod. Show on Sunday morning. I mean, I really don't have much of a show put together yet. I'm working on that as well as working on other things. So just come watch on Sunday morning. So far, we just have the news. I just did the spotlight on former running back of the Indianapolis Colts and St. Louis Rams, Marshall Faulk. So I'm going to be editing that video and hopefully having that up by the weekend. But the one for Larry Fitzgerald is live now on the YouTube channel. So go check that out.
Definitely keep up with everything Metalcore Mike's got going on. As for moi, you can find me right here every single Wednesday night with these two gentlemen talking about some AEW Dynamite. Next week, brand new network, and of course, it will be the first episode of the Boom on that network, and it will be the fallout of Forbidden Doors. So stay tuned for that as well. And then, of course, as always, every single Monday night with me and Metalcore Mike. Getting back to our regular schedule again, like I said, these 2 p.m. shows are absolutely ridiculous, and that's what kind of throws off our live streaming. But getting back to that with Table Spot and reviewing some Monday Night Raw as well. And then, of course, on my socials, specifically on my TikTok, Cam Justin Corner, predictions, reviews, and all of that jazz on there. So stay tuned with that as well. And that is all I got for you guys for the final episode on River City Radio of the Boom. As I always say at the end of every stream, love, peace, and prosperity. And we are out.
Beep, beep.